A topic we spend a lot of time talking about, which is, namely, how do I get big on the internet? And it's always been difficult to succeed as an artist. In the old days, the way you'd succeed as an artist, the thing every artist wanted to do was get a record deal, right? Oh, if we could only get signed. I remember reading Keith Richards' biography, and the Stones lived to get signed. And if you get signed, you got a couple of things. The record studio would advance you the money. They don't pay for it, but they'd advance you the money to record that album. And studio time was very expensive. You had to do that. It was hundreds of thousands of dollars to make an album. And then, having made the album, if you were lucky, they'd get the A&R guy and the record representatives to go around the radio stations, get airplay. Maybe then, if you were lucky and the song took off, you'd have a hit, and maybe you'd make that money back. And if you're really lucky and you're the Rolling Stones or you're AC/DC or you're Aerosmith or Metallica, you'd make a lot of money. But those days, I think, are gone. I don't think, for one thing, you need the record company to make the album.
No.
You could do it yourself for nothing. All you need is a laptop computer. I just bought this for my son, who's a aspiring musician. He's 17 years old. This is from a company called Zoom. It's their R8 recorder interface controller sampler. This thing is an 8-track recorder, records on SD, kind of like the old recorders that, the Fostex or others that they record on a cassette deck, except this is super high-quality recording. It's got microphone inputs, instrument inputs, and it also has a drum sampler in it. And it's got, this thing's amazing. It's a whole music studio in there, and you attach that to a computer with a program like Pro Tools or maybe something easier like Logic, and bing, you've got the best recording studio ever. So that you don't need the record industry for that. Their marketing arms are weak. They don't help you anymore. So really, it's up to you no matter what. So what do you need the record deal for? Now you got to figure it out, and this is a brave new world. How do we get the word out? And that's the trick, again, is to understand that you're building a community around yourself. The community size doesn't have to be huge. 1,000 people is enough to make you a huge superstar, because that snowballs from there. 1,000 people is kind of critical, what we call critical mass. That's when the nuclear reaction, the chain reaction, can start to happen. So how do we get the first 1,000 people? Well, you go out there and you participate. You go out to other communities. You say, "Hey, I'm a musician." Go to places where your fans might congregate and get them to participate. Participate with them, and that's how you do it.
So you're talking like a discussion list.
Join forums, discussion lists. But remember, you're going where the fans are, not other musicians. Although it's not a bad idea to go where other musicians are to kind of share ideas. This is a website called promotethemusic.com. Chatroom just told me about this, where they're doing a webcast on the 24th of September talking about what if we did things differently. A new way and better payday for artists and music lovers. So there are others in your boat. Many. And don't see them as competitors, by the way.
No.
See them as colleagues.
People to learn from. Oh, yeah, I've got a bunch of friends that I work, alongside. Of course, we never get to go to each other's shows because I'm always playing with...
That's fine. And that's one good thing I love about musicians is there is this sense of camaraderie.
In some circles. In some.
Yeah, and then you start making money and they're out to get you. We're only comrades when we're all suffering and struggling together. But that's true in every business, let me tell you. But I do think that we're inventing this as we go. There is no magic bullet for anybody. But the good news is the tools are there to make this stuff, whether it's video, blogging, podcasting, music, on your own dime, so you own it. And then I would look at people like Jonathan Coulton. Jonathan Coulton's a great example of an artist who didn't sign, probably could have, but found ways to get his music out there, create a community around that music, and is doing quite well, thank you, on his own website. And he doesn't need Warner Brothers. He doesn't need EMI. He does it all himself. Coulton is spelled, Jonathan Coulton is Jonath. Actually, Google Joko. That's probably the way to do it. Google J. You know him?
No.
You know of him? Yeah.
Or K-O for Coulton.
Yeah, it's Coulton.
No, I'm not familiar with him, but I'll definitely go look him up.
He's an example of an artist who did a number of things that helped promote him. He had some luck. Look, there's a lot of luck involved. You know, one of the things that he did that was very successful, he ended up writing a song for a game that no one thought was going to be huge, that in fact was huge, called Portal. He wrote the closing number. That song became huge for him. There's lots of different ways, you know. But one of the things he did I think was really smart was, and look how long he's been doing this, since 2005, okay? It doesn't happen overnight. Is he did something he called Thing a Week, where he was going to put out a new song every week. And he encouraged people, gave away a lot of music, still gives away a lot of music. If you search for Joko, there's a lot you can hear. But then he also sells his music on CD Baby, on Amazon, at live shows. You can download it from iTunes. And most importantly, and he even says it on his website, best for me if you buy them here on his own web store. And he doesn't use copy protection. I ended up, because I love his music so much, he has a single button push that you get all of his songs for $70. And I bought them all. I said, yeah, I'll take them all. Jonathan is a good model for how you can do this yourself and be successful. Now, his music's very accessible, admittedly. He's very popular with the geek crowd. That helps because it's geeks who know about this and are willing to buy music online and all that stuff. But I think that he's just put out a new album, Artificial Heart. He's a very good example, a role model for musicians who say, I want to do this without a record label. I want to do this on my own terms. The good news is times have changed and you can now. And I think that's great. This R8 is so cool. It's so amazing. I mean, this is $300. It's essentially an 8-track recorder mixer that you plug in it's got 2 mics. It's got inputs for guitars, and it's got a sampler. It works with the computer, or you record onto an SD card that's built into the thing. You record right to the memory in the thing. You can carry this. You could carry this on the road with you. $300. It's remarkable, and the sound quality is superb. I tell you, we're in a wonderful age, a wonderful time for a creator. Kevin in Florida.